Seconds of trading. My name is Alejandro Zambrano, Chief Market Analyst with Trade Captain and Amana Capital. And it's 9:05 a.m. in London. And as we usually do at this time of the day, I'm going to take a look at markets such as the Euro, Bitcoin, crude oil, and the DAX 30. Before we start though, as always, I need to stress that trading financial markets unfortunately is risky and there's a genuine risk that we'll lose all of our invested money, so please keep that in mind before you start trading. Some simple tips here as well. A lot of people get involved in trading and they do it badly in a way that they trade with just a lot of leverage. So if you can contain your leverage and try to not trade more than say 5 to 10 times leverage, work with stop loss orders, work with profit target orders. In other words, you have some sort of system, and especially as well if it's a trend following system, then I think that improves the likelihood of you being successful. In fact, I've been trading since 2006, and since 2014 I've been doing relatively well, definitely beating your average guy. We'll talk more about that another day. Alright, so let's begin. And if you are watching this, if you like this presentation, don't forget to follow us, and as well don't forget to smash that like button. There's a little like button here. Click here if you like, click here if you dislike. Very straightforward as well. If you want to follow us, just click here to subscribe. Very straightforward to do that. As well, coming up, we have a webinar on May 10th, so 10 days from now, and that will be the top trade ideas for May 2018. It's going to happen on Thursday, May 10th at 6 p.m. London time. You sign up here once, and then you'll have access to the premium section. You can sign up to any other webinars. In fact, Nathan Batchelor so just joined us. He's going to host a webinar. He's going to talk a bit about his trading, and we hope to have that information up in the webinar section in the next few days. So again, if you already a member, then it's very easy just to sign up to as many of these free webinars as you would like to do. Join, sorry. Alright, so this is the Euro, and you know what's going on, right? We talked about it. We said that if we break below 121.55, this market could head to the downside and potentially hit 119.20 and 117. And I think we can head down to 117 in the next few weeks, just because again the ECB is in no rush to increase interest rates. Wages are not really picking up too much in the Eurozone, and inflation is sort of flatlined around 1.31%. I think that's what we have, core inflation. And at the same time, the Fed is looking to raise interest rates, and suddenly everybody's starting to realize that, and people are buying dollars. Now, technically here, ideally, if you're not already short, you need a pullback. Now, I'm not sure if that is actually going to happen. We're actually below yesterday's low, so I think this could open up further losses and potentially move down to 119.20. If you stick into sort of my rule, which is just sell here, then you just need that pullback. Without it, it doesn't make sense to sell. Of course, if you're scalping, then we are taking out the low, and it's 9:09 a.m. in London. So this can continue to potentially drift to the downside, but you need to be very mindful and careful. Why? Because the market already collapsed or declined quite a bit yesterday, so we could snap back up. I'm just waiting for a pullback to 121.26. That's what I would do if you're not already short on the breakout of 121.55. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is under a bit of pressure today, holding up well. I think what's happening here is that you saw a lot of the altcoins heading to the upside, and you're seeing profit taking in those altcoins. And here, the market hasn't really moved up too much, so it's just trading sideways. So people are starting to get a little bit impatient and deciding, I think, just to close out the positions. But as long as you're about 8,596, then there's no real reason to change the bias. It turns bullish, and if we're trading up at these levels, then that wouldn't surprise me. Patience is something that investors and traders usually don't have. but unfortunately it's a key ingredient to successful trading, and here's one of those. you just need to wait really. Crude oil doing surprisingly well. I mean, I was suspecting that the market would look to potentially take out the low, but as I said yesterday, if you stick with the trend, and as well as I said this morning actually, if you stick with the trend, usually it's going to work out fine. And we reached the profit target area yesterday, so this would have been the opportunity to book if you bought down here or here, because over the last few days you said buy here, 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 and here. And yes, if we move down to the same level, it's the same setup again. I think down here, I think it makes sense to buy. And that exact level is the 67.73 level. So buying here, your risk would be about 1.34%. Head to the high, 2.3%. So yeah, at least you get slightly more in potential profit than what you're actually risking to lose. Be mindful though, and if we take out 66.93, then I think we're gonna down, up, down, and at the same time, imagine people bought here on the 23rd, on the 25th, and on the 30th. So if we slip below this level, people that did not book profits are gonna be under pressure, and they will probably liquidate their positions, which will take us down to the first low here, which is 65.54. And then might bounce up, and it sort of depends on how much people bought here. But if they bought a lot and not everybody exited here, they will liquidate more when we go up, which means that I think down, up, and then eventually lower. And this will be fully normal. I mean, this is what the market does. Rallies a lot, creates a short-term high, pulls back a lot, rallies a lot, creates a short-term high, pulls back a lot, and rallies a lot. Maybe it's time for that move. Not sure. But I definitely think that if we take out 66.93, then yes, be bearish. For now though, let's just stick to being bullish. Here is gold, and Aussie dollar is lower, the euro dollar is lower. The dollar in general is just very, very strong. And if you want to get involved here, I think the best thing you can do right now is just wait for a break to 1,326. The alternative is that you just stick with the big levels. And the idea is just that we should bottom out here, but we're not seeing that reaction just yet. Maybe with the Fed rate decision this week, you might see some sort of a short-term high in the dollar and potentially a short-term low here in the price of gold. Here's the DAX 30, and there's not too much to say about this right now. Take out 12,652. And the trend turns bullish. Alright, the alternative is that we go down again and people buy here. I think down here as well, traders, if you bought here, I think I'm not saying it's the best opportunity, but I do think traders that are scalping are probably booking profits here. And then when we take out, if we take out this high, they get involved again, because if we take out this high, it's probably up a bit, down a bit, and then up to maybe 1,133. Anything on the economic calendar today? Let's check that out. I don't think so. Should be some bank holidays in Europe. Yeah, so bank holidays in Europe, except in the UK, we have our bank holiday next week on Monday. So on Monday, I'm gonna be off, and most of the team as well. Anyway, nothing here from the UK. Got some manufacturing PMIs coming up. Yeah, nothing really super interesting until the afternoon. ISM, manufacturing index, that's always important for the dollar. This is a nice leading indicator and is at nice levels at 58.3, but it's started to moderate a bit, and some people say it's gonna move to the downside. I'm not sure about that, but obviously if it peaks, and it has peaked in Europe, then it's likely really that, at least from a stock market perspective, less enthusiasm. But we already seen that in stock markets. The decline in stock markets is sort of pricing in bad data, or the data has not been beating expectations. And I think people think this is going to continue for slightly longer. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap things up. Okay, so we have nobody in the chat today. That's fine. If you're watching, again, don't forget to like the video. I would really appreciate that. And as well, if you are up for more webinars, check out the educational section. And if you're just trading, check out the technical analysis section. Nathan is publishing content every Monday to Friday here in the early hours. So check this out if you want to know more. As an example, he did nicely outline levels ahead of the ECB rate meeting, and so far it's looking good. And today he did another update on that. It's kind of interesting to see what he has to say. Okay guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. here at tradecapital.com. Thank you.